All right, this is Calibos, and we're playing Enigmatica 2. So I'm feeling a little bit better. I've had some sleep, and I came up with a design. It's a little bit simpler than the weird, strange monstrosity that I was doing. It works fairly well, I hope. So let's give it a shot. So we want to throw these in there, and we want to order some prismarine. So let's say we need to order 100 prismarine. So we want to up the range on this a little bit. So once I contain this a little bit better, it should work. But you get the general idea. I hope you do. Anyway, so let's explain it step by step. So we have the open crate dropper here, and what it does is it takes whatever we're dropping, say these nether quartz, puts them on the pressure plate here, and this probably needs a slower timer. I suppose I could make a slower timer. And if there's anything on the pressure plate here, it gives power to this torch, which gives power to this repeater, and that, or yeah, if there's anything on the pressure plate, it turns off this torch, which turns off the redstone repeater, and that turns on the redstone clock, which pumps lasers into whatever we're building. So this still has the item filter that we made before, and it only picks up prismarine. So clearly it works just fine when stuff is standing right there. So we just need to block this part off. Let's make some glass really quick. Glass. I'm just kind of going to contain this because apparently stuff bounces when the laser hits it, which is not so exciting. Now I want to generally leave access to some of this, like I want to be able to just get there, because we will be able to use this setup for other recipes as we go. So let's, wow, I do not like that. Can we make quite clear glass? So if we put this through an alloy smelter, conveniently we have an alloy smelter over here somewhere. Sag mill. Man, that throws me off. So let's put some glass through. Oh, does it only have to be in the alloy thing? No? Okay, so apparently it doesn't take it. So what other kinds of glass are there? Because I want something less annoying than... So we can chisel it. Wait. What about the thickened glass? That'll work. So let's make some thickened glass. Which we should have had recipes for all that nonsense, I thought. So thickened glass, we'll put that in one of these. I know, it gets to see all the different steps of stuff. So we'll say one thickened glass put into an alloy smelter. Becomes a thickened glass. We'll make this. We'll go over to our smelting one, and we'll put it in here. So now we can make thickened glass. Uses, can we change this back to regular glass? I'm gonna say no. Alright, so let's make some thickened, we'll put some thickened glass down. That's a little better. Okay, so now we'll make some prismarine. We'll see how this goes. So this works. I see again that it's going to need more power. And that's an issue. Again. So if I raise this up, I can put it back into the thing here. But generally it works. Yeah, so mostly it works. The fact that it's so far away is a problem, but I think that we can work with this somehow. So yeah, next step, let's see, no crafting job active. Next step is going to be, I'll fiddle with this later to improve the process. I'm sure I can manage that. Maybe even as something as simple as a, what are these called? Vacuum chest. No, I'll fiddle with it later. We have other important things we're going to do. So let's go here. And we now have just about everything we need to shut this off. And go crazy with it. All right, so let's hop back to base after we make sure that we have all of the pieces. Looks good. And we're withered. That's pretty good too. Let's go to our crafting section. So uses for this. So that gives us the recipe for a tier 5. And I'm only really making the recipe because I'm thinking of actually going through and I'm actually thinking of going through and making a second void ore miner for later. So let's go through the process of, this is the recipe for a tier 1 block. So we need interconnect, which we need connector, which needs that. So we're never going to have to make interconnect ourselves again. That is one of my goals. I hate interconnect. So there was 2 recipes for this, and concrete versus concrete powder. This one's easier to automate, so we're going to use that one. I mean, I could do the other one, but I'm not sure that I care enough. What are we just making here? So we told it to make the concrete powder. So that's this. So that's one more step that we don't have to make. Then we go back to this, and that's this. And then that gives us tier 1. So now we never have to make tier 1 stuff ourselves again. So let's look at tier 2. So that's tier 2, tier 3, tier 4, so the further we go in, oops, gotta put it in here. The further we go into this, the less that we're going to have to do manually ourselves. So that's tier 5, and I keep putting it into the wrong one because it's at eye level. Now, what does it take for the tier 6? So I think technically that's not a problem once we get the Atheum stuff, because we are just going to keep producing nether stars. So our nether stars are sitting at 139. We have 652 wither skeleton skulls, which I don't want to have to do math. I mean, at a rough guess, I'd guess that's, what, 214 nether stars or some garbage like that? I don't know. Something like that. So, I think that we had decided that we need let's look into environmental tech. What do we have in here? We've got the void resource miner. Yeah. So I'm not worried about this one. I don't anticipate ever needing a second one. So let's throw all the pieces in here for the now. Clean that up. Clean that up. Clean that up. Throw that in there. All right, so let's head back to where our recipes are written down. So we're trying to build the tier 5. So we're going to need 72 structure frame tier 5s. So we need 72. All the parts are available. This should craft very rapidly. We're also going to need 36 structure panels, 16 modifiers, 6 cores, and a lens. So that's another thing that we need to throw down here. we'll need modifiers. Toss that in here. And we're going to need lenses, which are going to be super easy to make. Now, in case we really wanted to, let's look up the recipe for this. Crystal laser lens. It's going to need a rhodium, which we're going to make like that. I'm going to toss the recipe in here. Because we'll remember, the crystal laser lens allows us to look specifically for the crystals, which, in case we care, we have a few crystals in the system. I'm not sure how well they're going to last us. Clearly we have one or two. So I think that's all of the various parts of environmental tech. So we don't want the lightning controller. We're looking at, see, we've got all of that. We've got that one. We want to teach it how to make this one, actually. Oops. So it doesn't know how to make these. So we'll teach it that recipe. And we also want to teach it how to make, oops, mica. So we're going to need that from the other one. So let's go back to our thing, get our pieces, which should mostly be done. So 72 structure frames, 36 structure panels, structure. Okay, that is the one we didn't teach it. We knew this. Structure panels. So all the individual pieces of that should already be taught, so it should know how to make those. So these are all filled up. Looks like it's basically time to, yep, it's basically time to start the new block. That was weird. That sounded like a creeper. Do you think it spawned on the top and then just died? That's weird. So, and wrong click. So my board bobbles up, go back in, change the thing. So we needed the structure panels. So we have the 72 of these. We have structure panels. Let's see how many. 16 null mods, 6 core, 1 lens. Lens. Let's spell it correctly. Let's ask for a crystal lens because we specifically want to make the crystals from this mod. So I forget which ones they are, but we need to make them. So now we're going to head back to where we're building. Now I'm going to randomly suspect that because it's asking for an additional lens over what we, over what we had before, that it's going to want these to be one higher. So we'll work on that premise. So one higher, one higher. Let's kill these. Oh, did we not get the, I really love not having to, go all the way back for, like, every little thing. So we'll grab our assembler. Is it working? We still have some structure panels in our inventory. So, structure panels. Oh, we're missing, like, modifiers, I think. Modifiers. There we go. There we go. And now it's lit up. So this is the tier 5 ore miner. It produces... Okay, so this is actually pulling power as fast as this power cell will make it. And theoretically it should be producing ore faster than the previous version. Now, we're specifically looking for crystals. I'm not sure exactly what the chance for the crystal is that we need. So let's look at tier 6. So we're going to need aethium crystals. So let's look at aethium crystals. We already have one. So the recipe for this is... we roughly have a 9% chance, 9.21%. So basically 1 out of, 11 blocks should probably be one of these. And it's clear. So I'm not sure how much of a bonus having the crystal laser lens should give us. Hopefully it's at least as good as the clear laser lens. I mean, I guess we can't have everything. Now the next step is I'm actually going to have to double this. So we're going to expand this way, I guess. There's hopefully slightly less lava out here. It's going to be very painful otherwise. Oh look, I found some crystals from Thaumcraft. Let's kill that. If I had a torch, it'd be nice. So let's light this up and reduce the amount of incoming hostiles. Hey guys. Alright. So my homework for this next session is going to basically be I'm going to have to clear an appropriate area. Ooh, that's a red orchid. That's cool. I've never actually seen a red orchid spawn naturally. Guess I just don't get out much. So we've got a lot of like crystals and stuff here. But I'm going to basically have to make the... Oh, these are crystals that I did. I'm going to basically have to make the dirt version of this. So we're going to make the other version. And I'm probably going to set it up over here somewhere. So figure out... There we go. Oh, hey. Starving to death. So let's have some food. Pemmican, that seems great. So we're going to have to make the dirt version of this, which will be giving us gravel and, you know, all the various kinds of stone and stuff like that. And the reason for that is we need to make mica. And I seem to recall that the only way to make mica... I have some diamonds. We totally need 1 million of those, right? The only way to make mica is to have to get it from the void resource things. So I'm going to be doing that in the background. I hope to have it done before the next episode starts. And that's the plan. So if you like the episode, leave a like. If you don't. Simple as that. Questions, comments, concerns can all go below. You folks have a great night.